up, you guys? For today's video, we are going to be going over my top 10 ride or die holy grail status eyeshadow palettes, and let me tell you, this was the biggest challenge for me. I have a huge soft spot for eyeshadow palettes, and when I was going through them, I was like, can I just do 11, maybe 12? And then I was like, no, 10 sounds better. So I did narrow it down, but let me tell you though, it took me a little bit to do so. But with that said though, I get a lot of questions from you guys asking like what my all-time favorite palettes are, which ones I recommend. So this video is for you guys that are looking for my favorites, and I hope you guys really enjoy it, and let's get into this video. And also, if you haven't already, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below, and if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten. So before we start going over the palettes, let me just tell you, there is no specific order as to which one I like more, which one I like less out of these 10. They are all at the same level for me. And as you can see, I have a full box of palettes right here, which is kind of insane that I have this many palettes, and I have a problem. But either way though, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I also want to mention though too, I'm not going to be doing a full-on review of each of the palettes. I just want to give you guys my reasoning as to why I like it and why it's my favorite, and I'm also not going to be doing swatches because honestly a lot of these have been around for a hot minute, so I don't really see the need to do so. So either way though, I hope you guys enjoy this video. So before I hold up this palette, let me just tell you, this one is one of my all-time favorites. Girl, if I lost this palette, I would need another one. And that is the Karity 21 Matte Palette. And let's just keep it real though, that color story is just so pretty. I seriously cannot get over it every time I look at it. I really enjoyed the yellow, the orange, the red in here, the hot pink, the purple, the blue. I mean, literally every shade in this palette is so nice. It's not one of those palettes where you have only 2 or 3 that you like. I literally like the whole thing, and I really just truly think Karity has amazing quality products. If you are looking for some really great ass palettes, highly recommend their 21 pan ones. So the next palette that I want to talk about is the Juvia's Place, the Zulu palette, and girl, let me tell you, I love this palette so much. It is seriously so beautiful, and I feel like this palette though, you can do a lot with it, but either way though, it is just a necessity in my collection. I mean, look at this green right here. Isn't that so pigmented? It is just so buttery and so smooth. If you have never tried out this palette, I definitely recommend it. It is my all-time favorite from Juvia's Place right now. I just feel every time I want to do a sunset smoky eye, I just want to use this one. It just kind of has that summer type of vibe to it too, which I really love. But either way though, this is a good one. So the next palette that I want to talk about is the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette, and let me just tell you, this palette is stupid expensive. It is just insane for how many eyeshadows in here. However, the quality is immaculate. I just absolutely love this palette. I thought I was going to regret it just because of the color story, but I actually really reached for it a lot. I mean, if you are into those earthy, kind of grungy type of green looks, you will definitely love this palette. And I mean the black in here, this one, she is so damn pigmented. Look at that. That is one run with my finger. And if we swatch her, look at that. It is just insanely good. And that is with all the shadows in here, even the greens. Seriously, it's just so beautiful. And literally the formula is so buttery. The only bad thing though about this palette is the shimmers in here kind of crumble a little bit, which is kind of a bummer. But either way though, this palette is so good, and if you are looking for these types of colors, I definitely recommend it. Now, if you guys are not new to my channel, you're probably going to be a little bit surprised that I have a neutral palette in here, but that is the Sigma Beauty Warm Neutrals Volume 2. I really just truly enjoy this palette. If you are into those kind of grungy type of warm smoky eyes, you will really love this palette. I mean, the color story alone is just so beautiful. I really enjoy this red shade over here, the burgundy. I really enjoy these shades up in here. It's just a really nice, well-rounded palette. If I was going on a weekend trip and I wanted a small kind of to-go kind of palette, this would be definitely one of those ones I would pick up and just throw in my bag, because it literally has everything that I need. And it also has a couple kind of punchy colors in it, which I really love. So the next palette that I'm going to be sharing with you guys is one of those ones that's kind of new to my life, but seriously is making a punch, and that is the Morphe Such a Gem palette. But if you like purples as much as I do, you need it. It seriously is such a banger. I love it so much. If we're dead ass honest, I don't really like the middle row eyeshadow toppers. They are not my jam. However, the shades around them are amazing. Seriously, the pigmentation is crazy. I'll show you guys this kind of purpley shade right here. This one is one of my favorites. But as you can see, she is so pigmented. I seriously just love this palette. I would use it all the time if I could, and I just highly recommend it if you are into like pinks and purples and raspberries. The only disadvantage to this palette is you can't really create like a lot of different looks with it because, you know, everything is like purple and raspberry. But either way though, it is such a beautiful palette. I also want to say though too, I did like a full on like review, like first impressions with this palette, and if you are curious with that, I will link it in the description box down below. So the next palette that I'm going to be sharing with you guys is one of those palettes I just don't understand why people aren't talking about it more, and that is the Colourpop collaboration with I Love Sarahi. This is the Through My Eyes palette, and oh my gosh, I love this palette so much. It is like literally my all-time favorite Colourpop palette. And what I like about this palette is not only the packaging, which, like, let's be honest, like, it is just so cute, but the color story in here is one of those ones that it looks kind of weird like when you look at it, but you can seriously do so much with it. So for instance, like you could do like a green smoky eye with these greens alone. You could do like a purpley kind of like plum, kind of like mauve type of look with it. You could also like pair the greens with the yellow. You could do like a sunset look with the yellow, the oranges over in here, and maybe even like this cranberry shade. Like seriously, like the possibilities with this palette are endless, and that's what I really enjoy about it. I mean, like, the color story isn't, like, for everybody, but if you like those kind of, like, grungy type of, like, unique kind of color stories, you will definitely love this palette. But seriously, though, like, my voice is so scratchy today. I feel like I'm starting to get over my cold, but still, like, it's still kind of there. And if I told you how much honey I went through in the last, like, 5 days, like, it is insane. And I mean, like, a portion of that is because I, like, really love honey, but at the same time, though, like, it actually does help with my throat. If you guys know of, like, any, like, natural remedies, let me know in the comments down below. Like, I don't want to take, like, any medication or anything, but if you know like any types of tea or like lemon or anything like what have you, let me know in the comments down below what works for you. So the next palette that I'm going to share with you guys is not really an eyeshadow palette because you can't buy these palettes anymore. However, you can buy the shadows and create your own palette, which is really cool. And that is Sugarpill eyeshadows. And let me tell you, I have had these since high school, and Sugarpill is literally like my ride or die, holy grail, like bright, colorful brand. I just love their quality so much. I don't use them as much anymore because I'm always trying like new like brands and launches and what have you, but literally my ride or die is Sugarpill. So I do want to share with you guys some of my favorites from Sugarpill, and that is actually this whole quad right here. This one you cannot get like this anymore, however you can get all of the shades. I did check this morning, and the yellow right here is called Butter Cupcake, Flame Point is the orange, Love Plus is the red, and then the purple is called Poison Plum. And if you are looking for the best like primary red on the market, Love Plus is literally where it's at. And also Poison Plum is my all-time favorite purple shade. Like seriously, it is the most beautiful purple I have in my collection. I cannot get enough of it. And I will say though too, like Sugarpill is a little bit more on the pricier side, but either way though, you get an amazing quality product, and you are also helping to support an indie brand, which is amazing in itself. Here's another one of those palettes that I have from Sugarpill. I'm not too sure if you can buy it anymore. I know that they don't have Dolly Pop anymore. I didn't see it this morning. But this blue right here is called After Party. Taco is the white, and then Midori is the green right here. And here's another favorite quad of mine from Sugarpill. And again, I'm not too sure which shades that you are able to get, but this green shade right here is called Acid Berry. The darker kind of blue shade is called Velocity. The lighter blue is called Mochi, and then the purple is called 2 AM. So the next palette that I want to share with you guys might be a little bit of a shock, and that is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Blood Sugar palette. Seriously, after I added this palette to my collection, it really just kind of like pizzazzed it in a way. I just felt like this palette just kind of gave my collection a little bit of life and a little bit of a different kind of like edge, because I didn't really have a lot of reds before this palette. Like I had some like, you know, like from Sugarpill and like Karity, but I didn't have like a lot of them, and this palette just kind of gave me what I wanted. Like I really love a good red eyeshadow, and I also love purples and hot pinks, so this palette just really kind of gave my collection what it needed. And I also really like that this palette I can just take anywhere and I get like everything that I need. Like I get like a matte white, I get some like transitional shades, I get like an inner corner highlight, and I also get some like deepening shades over in here, a ton of shimmers. Like literally if you need anything, this palette has it, which is amazing. I just looked at the bin next to me and was like, oh my gosh, we've gone through that many palettes. It seems like we've only talked about like maybe like 2 or 3, not as many as like the bin is telling me. Like maybe like it's just me, but I like really love a good eyeshadow palette, and I love talking about eyeshadow, so maybe it's that. But either way though, the next palette that I want to go over is the Karity Smokey palette, and I know it is so similar to the matte palette. Either way though, I do think that this palette has some like differences that really make it special. And the first shade that I want to go over is this beautiful kind of like burgundy shade called Burlesque. This shade is so beautiful. It is by far the nicest shade that I have in that kind of color, because a lot of times this shade is so chalky and so patchy, but this one has the most beautiful formula to it. And also this shade called PDA right here is a dupe to Poison Plum from Sugarpill. I mean, I really love Poison Plum from Sugarpill, but this one is definitely a dupe for it. But either way though, I just really enjoy this palette. As you can see, I've even hit pan on it, and I'm super close to hitting pan right here on the yellow. But I just feel like this palette's like one of those ones I can just do so much with. I mean, like, you want to do sunset eye, you can do a sunset eye. If you want to do like kind of like a smokier eye, you can do that. You could do like a green look, a blue look, like literally the possibilities are endless with this palette, which I really enjoy. This is actually the palette that I usually like travel with, or if I go anywhere, this is the one I always take with, just because you can just do so much with it. So the last palette that we are going to be talking about is again from Morphe, and that is the Dare to Create palette. Seriously, I love this palette so much. I literally get so much use out of it. If you are like me and you like grungy type of like smoky looks, you definitely need this one in your collection. You can just do so much with it. As you can see, like, you get all those cool like brown shades, you get some pops of green, cranberry, you get a lot of blue. You know, it gives you so many different types of options. Not to mention, like, the formula of this is so buttery and so nice. The mattes literally blend out like a dream. I know a lot of people aren't always the biggest fan of Morphe, but for me, this palette is one of my all-time favorites. I find that the formula just works really well for me, and for that reason, I really enjoy it. Not to mention, if you are one of those people that likes kind of like more like natural smoky eyes, but you also like a little bit of a pop of color, you definitely will really enjoy this palette. The only bad thing about these like bigger palettes from Morphe is that they take so much space. Like, as you can see, like, this palette is like big, large, and in charge. Like, she is huge. Like, to store this one, you definitely need some room, but either way though, if you want a lot of options, these bigger palettes are amazing for that. But yeah, so there are my favorite palettes, and oh my gosh, my voice is starting to crack so bad. I can definitely tell I filmed a couple of videos today, because I'll get like halfway through my sentence and like my voice will be like, bye, see you later, and just like completely cut me off, and I'll be like, this is kind of rude. But either way though, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite palettes are, whether that is like your top 3, your 5, your top 10, maybe even your top 20. I would love to hear what you guys like as well, because I'm always curious about trying new palettes and seeing what you guys like too. And as always though, I would really appreciate if you hit that subscribe button down below, and if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram account is @lethal_kitten. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!